The Jon Favreau live-action Star Wars series has a huge budget attached to it. Carrie Fisher's brother has something to say about Episode 9. The debate goes on about how Luke Skywalker may return in Episode 9. And Star Wars 2020 is soon to be announced. And Rian Johnson wants to try to recapture some of the magic of Star Wars. This is the Weekend Review coming up. So the Jon Favreau series, the live-action series that's going to be premiering on Disney's streaming service next fall, has a $100 million budget attached to it, which is pretty high. It's supposed to be 10 episodes, I believe, and so that breaks down to like $10 million an episode. But, you know, as high as that may be, that's very promising because that means they're really trying to go for some high-quality TV here. So, you know, I'd expect a lot of great special effects, set pieces, you know, if they go for some of the more realistic and, you know, in line with what they're doing with the new trilogy, or at least for Force Awakens, you know, the physical set pieces and physical characters and monsters and, you know, the aliens. If they go for more of that, then they've got a pretty good budget to work with here. So I'm looking forward to it. It's supposed to take place 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi, so it's still kind of unclear what the content will be, but it's rumored that Jon Favreau's just about done writing the first 10 episodes, or season 1 of his series. So it's pretty exciting news. We'll see, you know, who he gets to collaborate with him. I think there'll be some good surprises there, and some, you know, possibly directors and creative consultants that may be coming in and working with him. So that's exciting. And Carrie Fisher, her brother, has come out and said that Episode 9 is going to be very exciting, and there's going to be a ton of surprises. It's going to really shock everybody. So, you know, it's led people to wonder, what could he mean? Is he just trying to promote this thing? Because Disney seems to be on a full, or they will be. I think they're just starting to kind of slowly ramp up as filming begins, you know, into like a full onslaught of merchandising and marketing for this movie, because I think they know that the heat is really on for Episode 9 after the fallout of not Mission Impossible Fallout, which was a really cool movie, but the fallout from Last Jedi, and then the solo box office. So I think, you know, it's going to be hard to kind of gauge what's just being talked up a lot to try to get fans really excited and kind of win back all of the fans that were a little hesitant after Last Jedi, or hesitant towards Episode 9 because of Last Jedi. You know, it's easy just to get sucked in and be excited when you hear things like this. So apparently it's going to have a lot of fan service, you know, which is good and bad. I mean, it's good if they do it right, which I think JJ's smart enough to do it right, as long as it doesn't seem like it's too generic and too forced on you. You know, that's the one concern with fan service, is you don't want fan service just for the sake of like, oh, we got to throw everything in here, you know, plus the kitchen sink, to try to get everyone on board with this. So, you know, we'll have to see how it goes. But Carrie Fisher's brother has said there's a lot of good surprises. It's going to make shockwaves. J.J. Abrams has also said it's going to change history, or the way we look at the whole Star Wars saga, or the Skywalker saga, I guess I should say, up until now. So what could that mean? You know, we know there's going to be a lot of prequel era, or a good number of prequel era content in Episode 9. It's going to tie everything together. You know, rumors are, will Anakin show up as a Force ghost? You know, one little rumor of Hayden Christensen on the set would blow up and go viral. And so I'm sure they're pretty good at keeping a lid on things, and, you know, JJ's mystery box, keeping everyone in the dark about stuff. So I don't know if we'll actually hear anything. We might, you know, leaks get out. But so that's the news with Episode 9 and Carrie Fisher, and they are going to be using Force Awakens and Last Jedi footage, and then I think digitally placing her into different sets to make it updated. Now, they could still use flashback scenes. That is still kind of a rumor going around, but it seems like they will be using or placing her former scenes into scenes that they're filming for this new movie. So it will seem like she is in the movie. That's the story right now. Mark Hamill is back, of course. Luke Skywalker is coming back. That was confirmed. And it's still debated on how exactly he could come back. There was a theory, or is a theory, that he could still come back as in his bodily form, and not just a Force ghost. There was an early version of a script for Return of the Jedi that does have Obi-Wan and Anakin and Yoda coming back from being Force ghosts, coming back into their live bodies, with this allegedly a Jedi. Well, this was an old version, so this is not canon. It didn't make it into the movie, but allegedly a Jedi with a strong enough will can manifest him or herself back into the live, the physical realm. So, I still think I'd rather see like a Force ghost Luke with just a lot of good abilities. Flashback scenes I'm kind of iffy with, but I just did a video on that, so I'm not gonna get too into that. But I don't know. It's an interesting theory that George Lucas did write a version where the Force ghost can come into the physical realm or come back into the physical realm after passing on to the Force. That would really change things and how we'd view the past, I guess. So I don't know. A lot of cryptic talk out there, and it's hard to decipher what exactly it all means. But so that's one rumor now, or one theory now, that another way to bring Luke back. Obviously, the world within worlds is still a possibility. The world within worlds. I might be saying that wrong. I don't want to cut and look it up, so I think it's World Within Worlds from the Star Wars Rebel show. So that's kind of the episode 9 news. Now there is news of Star Wars 2020, whatever this next project's going to be, should be announced within the next couple months. They're saying October there's going to be a massive release of information and hopefully a roadmap as to where where the Star Wars, where the universe is going in general, because Disney really hasn't released like a roadmap to which movies are coming out when are we going to get the Game of Thrones, the guys that are doing the Game of Thrones, when are we going to get their Benioff and Weiss? When are we going to get their trilogy? When are we going to get the Rian Johnson trilogy, which is my last little story or bit of news for the day, the Rian Johnson trilogy. I don't know. And then, what about the standalone Obi-Wan movie? Is that going to come out? Ewan McGregor has had some recent interviews where he's stated that he'd love to do it. He just, he hasn't been approached yet formally. But of course, who knows? It's not gonna. If he had been, it's not like he's gonna be able to tell us anyway. So, it's who knows. Mark Hamill said he didn't know if he was gonna be attached to Episode 9 in any way, shape, or form. And then 2 weeks ago, he says, "Yeah, I was attached. I knew it all along. I just couldn't tell you." So, it's hard to say what the or to believe what the actors say, because they're under like a gag order from Disney. They can't talk too much. And then that leads me to the last story. Rian Johnson had an interview the last couple days, or 2 days ago, where he states that he is just in early development trying to come up with the ideas for his new movie, or his series of movies, and he's trying to recapture the magic of Star Wars. He's trying to figure out, for kids today, what was it when he was a kid that just made him fall in love with Star Wars, and try to recapture that. And he wants to do that in a new way. And that baffles me, because you killed off what everyone fell in love with Star Wars for in the first place. You killed it off. Luke Skywalker, you killed him off. Why fans fell in love with Star Wars. I mean, it was of course Han and Leia and Vader. There's so much more, but like Luke Skywalker was the main, I think, ingredient as to why people fell in love with him. And you killed him off in your movie. That you got to work with him. You got to work with the guy that made you love Star Wars in the first place, and then you killed him off. And now you're trying to figure out what it is that made you fall in love with Star Wars? Oh man, watch Last Jedi. I wonder if he's actually seen his own movie. See how depressing it is to kill off the main reason you fall in love with Star Wars in the first place, the journey of Luke Skywalker. He's trying to figure out what is it about Star Wars that I like so much. God, it's right in front of your face. You had it. You had the reason, and you killed it. So it's kind of a funny statement. I mean, I get what he's trying to say. It's the essence of Star Wars, and as a kid, what is the wondering of it all, and but it's just so funny to hear him say, like, you were with the guy that made everyone fall in love with Star Wars in your movie, and you killed him off. So it's apparently years off, if it still happens at all. There's so many rumors that that's going to get canceled, but who knows? Right now it's kind of unclear. Disney hasn't really released any kind of statement. Maybe in October we'll get a feeling for, if they do have this big information release and they have a roadmap. If he's not on the roadmap, he might have hit a dead end. So we'll see. It's the next couple of days. There is another earnings call tomorrow. There might be some release there, a Disney earnings call. There might be a release there. So we'll keep our ears to the internet and eyes on the internet, ears on the internet, and see if anything's released tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, and let me know, guys, about all the little news updates that have been leaking out and all the new news in the comments down below, what you think of it all, and give the video a big thumbs up if you like it, and please subscribe to see more content. And until next time, lock the doors and hope they don't have blasters.